All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is Thursday, May 11th, 2023. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the YouTube channel. Let's go ahead and get to it. Dow futures down about 170. What's creating the weakness today is energy and banks. So again, kind of like a value rotation right now. The leaders in the pack: Google's up 2.5%, Apple's slightly green, Microsoft down 0.5%, Amazon up 0.78%, Tesla's up 0.15%, Disney's down 5.68%. I had calls on that. We'll go over that here in a second. But let's go around the horn. Dow 176 down. S&P 500 futures hit my alert overnight and then fell. So that is up today. S&P 500 41.42, Russell down 0.65%. Again, that's the banks. Crude oil down 1.70%. Thank you, dollar. Dollar's up about 0.32% this morning. Gasoline futures down about 1.92, $2.44. Gold is up 0.27%. Again, we're still kind of waiting for our level to break. Silver futures down 2.39% at 25. Copper is down 3.5%, $3.70. So again, it's starting to see a little bit of a bounce on the dollar. That's what's hurting commodities. 10-year Treasury yields 3.355. Yields are down. Dollar is up 101.08, like we stated. Volatility index 1762, still relatively down, up but 4% today. Euro dollar down 53 pips. That's the dollar. Dollar yen down 52 pips. That's yields. Pound dollar 51 pips to the downside, 125.74. Pound. Bank of England raised their rates 25 basis points. Bitcoin's down about 1.12%, had a small little mini flash crash of about 1% yesterday and then bounced. Ethereum 1821 this morning. All right, let's go ahead and start with the indices. Kind of the same deal. Yesterday I tried to go long. Futures got chopped up. Lost about 14 points on it. Not the end of the world. But one of our members bounced back and got it and got break even. So taking a look at the S&P 500 futures, again, you can see in the hourly 41.50, pretty much the magnet line. We had a beat on PPI. The headline number is on our Twitter. Year over year actual 2.3%, forecast 2.5%. So we're starting to see some falling inflation here. Core PPI, this is producer price index, 0.2%. That met forecast. The PPI core year over year is 3.2%. Strip out autos and gas. I think that's food and auto, excuse me, for the PPI. Fed swaps upgrade the odds of rate cuts beginning in July. Initial public claims, jobless claims, 264,000 is more than the 245. So maybe we're starting to see a little bit of the labor market cracking, or so. Maybe labor costs go down, meaning wages, which would help stocks. Good morning, Zoom Balloon. Good morning. Let's go over Disney. I had the calls this week, the 105s. They did miss on EPS, but they did better than expected in terms of subscriber loss. So again, was it a horrible quarter? Not necessarily. It's just rather expensive in terms of PE multiple. So now we are below the 200-day moving average. We're now below the 50-day moving average. You're right around this level here, the 23.6 fib. There is no gaps to fill other than one right here at 87.24. So you do have a little more risk to the downside. I don't expect that to go more than it has. But unfortunately, that's the game of the game. Wanted to hold it for the breakout. We got the breakout on Monday at 103.01. The level of breakout was 102.71. I mean, that's as much confirmation as you're going to get, or you'll miss it. We retested, bounced, retested, bounced again, and then we kind of fell yesterday with the market. Hit that trend line, looked like an inverse head and shoulders, but we didn't get that. Obviously, earnings are more important than technicals, so that's just the name of the game. Good news is that we did tell our members this week that if they wanted to close it ahead of earnings, that was yesterday. I don't think it was down about 49%. We got as low as minus 41%. So if you wanted to save some risk and you closed it, good for you. If you did the same thing with Apple last week, good for you. DraftKings, not so much. But that's where we are. So that's really the only L we have for the week. I did catch Amazon calls with Masterclass. So that was a nice one. I also opened Mara. Mara is actually reporting earnings as we speak. You can see that we had the breakout here. right around 1064, got as high as 1073, added some fibs there to show the actual range that we've been stuck in. And now we are right around $10 a share. Can't say that's the worst thing in the world. The expiries for next week. So all we need to do is recapture 1066. If the dollar can pull back a little bit, Bitcoin can bounce back a little bit, but there is no gaps or at least some downside risk further than this chart, other than this support here around 962. So I got some time. I'm going to hold on to a little bit. Let's see how the reaction is after the earnings report. Disney's probably going to be an L, and I'll just have to eat that. But I went for it. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Saw the breakout and wanted to play that anyways. Also got into Square. We're breaking down on Square. We're below 57 now. I have the 55 puts for this week. You can see that we have a gap to fill here at 55.18. That's our money target. So again, if we get a little more of a weakness in the S&P, maybe some more weakness in the NASDAQ, Disney's pretty much already done. Mara is not exactly a NASDAQ proxy. Maybe Square gets us a little bit of something. They are for next week, so maybe we can catch that and start the road to recovery after a loss, which I don't like, but that's where we are. I'll go over all the trades this week tomorrow. Again, like I always do every week, so we can go over and kind of back test what we did right, what we did wrong. We did a lot right. We did one thing wrong, but that's okay. Losses happen, guys. That's the matter of fact. I'll post a screenshot on Discord to show my loss porn if you guys are into that. Now looking forward, let's see what else is out there. Take a look at Google. Take a look at Google on the daily. You have a gap to fill here at 110.87. We filled that yesterday, so awesome. But again, oh, it didn't fill yesterday. We pulled back, and let me see. This is the daily. This is when. Yep, yesterday we broke above that, and then we kind of continued higher. We're now at 115.11, so that's right around here. If we're looking for another target, 118 calls for Google. Let's see if we can hold above 115. If we do hold above 115. I'll take a look at the 117, if not the 118 calls for next week. So Google's definitely on my watch list. They had an AI event yesterday, so obviously that was a good thing for Google. And you could see the dollar, again, we're still just kind of hovering, guys. And we just bounced back above the 20-day moving average. But other than that, the dollar, we just need that to break, and it's an eventuality, especially if the Fed pauses, which I don't expect anytime soon, but the Fed fund futures are pricing that in. So that's where we are this morning. In terms of risk, good morning, Carlos. Do you still see 4,200 on ES? I do. And the only reason I say that is because the NASDAQ keeps pulling us higher. Right now, you're just in this chop zone. I try to trade it, not the best success. You're just not getting any breaks until you get 40.62 to the downside, or 40.60, or let's say 40.80 to the upside. We'll do 40.80 this time, or 41.73. That's pretty much what we're doing. We're just going to watch, because you're kind of stuck in this ugly chop zone, and not a lot of liquidity out there either. So we shot our shot this week on S&P. If there's any other futures set up, maybe we get some kind of move, we could play it. I don't mind shorting. I don't mind going long. Just give me a chart and I'll trade it at the end of the day. It's got some volume and it's got some kind of movement. So pretty ugly that it's been choppy, but 41.73, if we get a break above that, fine. If we break below 40.60, then I'll short, but I'd have to spread the range a little longer, a little wider for these moves, because it's so volatile. I mean, in terms of chop, you can see that the 1 hour on NASDAQ futures is breaking out. I mean, 13.416. It hit my alert around 13.3 last night. 13.460, excuse me. We got 13.626. So again, Microsoft had a new 52-week high yesterday. If we start getting that continuation into mega cap tech, the Apples, the Microsofts, the Amazons, the Googles of the world, that might be enough to drag S&P higher. The problem is the banks. The regional banks are hurting the S&P. They're such a small part. But again, the major money center banks, they're down today. Wells Fargo, JPM, Bank of America. I have a long-term put, a swing put with Masterclass for Deutsche Bank, some puts. So I'm not too far out of the money, but they're for July. So I want to see if over the summer we kind of get that Bear Stearns possibility where, the banks start really collapsing. Maybe I'll make a little money on my Deutsche Bank while the world's collapsing. Horrible, I know, but again, I just played the charts on Deutsche Bank. It's a German bank. Obviously, they're too big to fail, but hey, if we get a little bit of a pushback, why not? It could possibly happen. We're below the 20, the 50 moving average is breaking below the 20-day moving average. Not exactly a great sign. You have a gap to fill at 942. You got a gap to fill above at 12. So again, a very in the middle binary setup. But again, that's why I bought time. If I go ahead and actually just do some fibs, a retracement fib back to that bottom level, you could see here 942. We're pretty much right at the 50% retracement level, just based on these two gaps. So you're right smack dab in the middle. I got time. I'm willing to hold those. I'm not really worried about that. But if we do get some action, again, a little bit of a hedge, at least profit from it. What I'm looking at today is if we could catch Square this morning, that'll help out for the week. If you close Disney this week, you're pretty much green for the week so far. If we catch Square, we're green for the week. Again, it's pretty just sideways action. You know, the saying goes, sell in May and go away. A lot of people do that. Again, we're just trying to see if we can catch some moves. Maybe Google gives us a little something, and we could stay above 115, play the 117 calls for next week. In regards to 4,200, I do expect that to come, and then I expect us to reject that 100-week moving average. If we do, then we'll go ahead and short from there. If we continue to go long, fine, so be it. But we need something. We need some kind of move to play. Right now, it's individual names. The ETFs are not moving as much that we want to go ahead and play it. But really, the waking up to see Disney down this morning still, even with analysts, didn't really help the cause. And I hate losing. That's kind of my thing. So the idea now is just to move on. We'll close it up and call that, and then see if we can catch Square, see if we can catch Google, see what Merit does, and we'll make it a strong week to end it. So losses happen, guys. Just get used to it, and the way you respond to it is what makes you a great trader. We'll go and leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your morning. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. We are working on the Discord server being some parts free. We'll have a free version of the Discord server. I'm on the market blog as well. So again, it'll have market blog and the Twitter feed. So if you do have Discord, if you're someone that wants to check us out, maybe not want to put any money into it, which I completely understand, kind of learn a little something while the market is up. Maybe you're a fan of the Morning Note. Maybe you do follow us on Twitter. Give us a follow on the Discord. We'll put that up. Again, the market blog will be free for all on the Discord server. We're setting that up as we speak. So appreciate it as always, guys. Have a great rest of your morning, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next Morning Note. And then, of course, Friday after the bell, around 5-ish, I'll do the recap of the week. And we'll see you then. Have a great one, guys. Cheers.